So in an effort to get my GPS mount, I took this piece of tin. It's actually flashing for roofing. And so what I've done is I basically just cut it out to size. There's a little notch here because of the clip in the car that we'll see as we're putting it into the mount that I cut off. So I'll show you in a little bit how that will fit in. And so basically just hammered it out and did a little bending. And then what I have here, this is a piece of felt that I'm basically going to cover it with. So this is going to go on something like that. And it's just double-sided taped. That's going to go on like that. That'll give it a nice clean black look to it. So I'm going to wrap that in this felt, and I'm going to wrap the underside as well, so that way I won't scratch the dash. This is going to be completely removable. Here is a GPS mounting disc that I certainly didn't want to attach onto the dashboard. I've heard all sorts of bad stories about not being able to take it off, so this is the GPS mount. I cut the hole in the felt so that this can stick onto the bracket, and then when it's as one piece, it'll look nice and slick, and it'll be in the car looking awesome. So I'll come back in a couple minutes and show you the install and how to remove the trim in the 2008 Pontiac Torrent. Okay, so installing my GPS bracket in a 2008 Pontiac Torrent stock radio. First thing you need to do is we need to remove the trim piece that goes around the stereo. It's actually quite easy. First thing we want to do is we want to remove this bottom trim piece. It literally just pulls off. We want the key in so you can move the shifter out of park into neutral. That will give us a little bit of room. And then if you just gently pull up on the sides, there's little clips that will come off as we come along. And then that gives us the wiggle room that we need to be able to mount my bracket. And so here's the bracket that I made. I just put the GPS disc onto the metal. It's not the prettiest on the back, but you're not going to see it. So from the top, it should look fantastic. And so what we're going to do is that is going to go right in there. Okay, and then so it's just a matter of snapping it back in place. Just give a little push to make sure everything's in. This bottom bracket is a little bit of a pain to get it back in. Just has to fold in proper. But that just snaps in as well. Just push, and here's the snaps. And there's my little GPS disc, which should work fantastically. So because of the metal I use, it's not a super, it's a little bit loosey-goosey, but from right here, it's just a nice little black disc. Slide that on, lock it in place. And then when I'm not using the GPS, that can just sit there like that. Looks nice, neat, and clean. I love it. Okay, so that's putting in a custom-made GPS disc mount in a 2008 Pontiac Torrent without sticking anything on the dash or cutting any of the trim.